halfway between Toronto and New York City, Syracuse, New York is home to one of the most prestigious colleges in the country. And tonight it will be the home of destruction, mayhem, and chaos when the biggest stars in Monster Jam lay waste to the historic Carrier Dome. As the newly crowned series champion, Ryan Anderson has his sights set on Orlando, while the rest of the field looks to play spoiler on the road to World Finals 21. This is Stadium Championship Series Yellow. This is round 22. This is Monster Jam.
Unbelievable! Yes! There's some huge air. He can save it right there. He can save it. Holy cow! Awesome move, look at that! And he's got it, cowabunga! Big air out of the box! Beautiful! Ah!
The road to World Finals begins now!
Welcome to Syracuse, New York, where tonight Monster Jam returns to the Carrier Dome for the first time since April 6th of 2019. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside Cole Stevens. A lot has happened since the last time we were on this series. In Atlanta, Ryan Anderson clinched the series championship. We've seen that coming for quite some time now. After a slow start in Oakland, Colt, this series has been dominated by Son of a Digger.
Yeah, Ryan's absolutely been dominating this, as you said. But one thing about it that's crazy to me is Ryan Anderson really has just the most wins, and the most wins in freestyle, where the rest of the field has kind of been winning everything else, especially Tyler Maniga winning skills and all the other events. But it just goes to show you its consistency is key if you want to come away with a championship.
Let's hear from the 2022 series champion and his crew chief as Leslie Mears is joined by the Son of a Digger team in this UNOH pit report.
So Ryan Anderson has the championship locked up with just 2 events remaining. Pretty prestigious to do that. And I know a lot of people were kind of doubting you after last year, saying that one didn't count. So how does this one feel to lock this up early?
It feels extra good, and not to mention my little brother locked his up too, so it's awesome. It's exactly what I wanted to do. My crew guy right here, Bryce, man, he has kept the truck 100% every weekend. It's so awesome. So I can't say how happy I am with this whole year. Last year was great. It was cool for me to get in a different truck and get the championship against the heaviest hitting lineup we've ever had. But then to come back and do a second one with my truck and my rightful throne, that's exactly what I wanted to do. That's the stamp I wanted to put on this world.
So Bryce, let's talk to you here. So what has it been like working with Ryan? Because I know he's been kind of helping you along because you're brand new to the sport and kind of showing you the way he likes his truck. So what's it been like to work with this guy?
It's awesome. He truly is one of the best of the best. He's out there to work on the truck every time we got something going on.
Guys, I think that this is a match made in heaven here.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the driver lineup for Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Colt, who do you have your eye on here tonight in Syracuse?
You know, Corey Rummel's coming off a 2 freestyle win in Atlanta, so I'm definitely watching that Megalodon. I think Corey Rummel might have something up his sleeve if he can keep that truck together.
Let's take a look at the season point standings. You mentioned Corey Rummel, so a big change in the points here as Charlie Pauken was deducted 5 points from Miami. So now Corey Rummel moves into that 4th spot and continues to rise here in the standings.
And that's a big deal for Corey because he needs every point he can get so he can get to Monster Jam World Finals.
Let's take a look at the event breakdown for round 22. 3 competitions tonight. Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish. 12 go to the winner, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night is crowned the overall event champion. It's time now for Track Talk. Colt, you have competed on this track back in 2019 as well as back in 2017. So what can drivers expect tonight from the track at the Carrier Dome?
You know, one thing I noticed from practice yesterday is that the turn pods, the drivers are having trouble actually seeing them. We've seen a couple drivers actually hit them and almost roll over. But one thing about it, too, is the dirt here is deceiving. It looks tacky, but it's really loose on top. They added a lot of sand, too. So the first few rounds, the drivers are going to have to overtake that quickly.
Let's go ahead and check out the racing bracket for tonight's action in round 1. Megalodon against Soldier of Fortune, Jurassic Attack versus Zombie, Monster Mudder up against El Toro Loco, and Vendetta going against Bakugan Dragonoid. First round buys belong to Son of a Digger, Axe, Avenger, and Grave Digger. Colt, when I look at this bracket, I like it. It seems very spread out to me.
I really like this bracket as well, but one thing that really stands out to me is we see Jim Kohler with a bye. He's not really known for his racing ability. I'm excited to see who comes out on top.
A lot of potential great round 2 matchups here in this bracket. Well, let's get right to the action. Let's head down to the track for the first racing matchup of the night. It's Megalodon against Soldier Fortune. And we are ready for round 1 of racing. We're off and running. Corey Rummel the berm first. He's got the lead.
Corey pushes deep.
Way deep. Now Caleb Blood with the lead. The final turn we go, and Caleb Blood with the upset win. So Caleb Blood moves on to round 2. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
What an upset by Caleb. But this is a perfect example. This is a good learning opportunity. Watch as Corey Rummel comes into this gray turning lane. This is what we call pushing. He's got the truck completely turned all directions, but his truck continues to go forward. Doesn't make the turn right away. He has to check up, and that costs him the race.
Up next, Jurassic Attack versus Zombie. Let's check in with Leslie Mears.
Guys, Paul really amped up his physical fitness routine this season. He said he's been going to boot camps twice a week, and the one thing that he's noticed is that he rebounds so much better after each event. He's not sore the next day like he used to, and it's really helped him out.
Thank you, Leslie. And Cole, we don't talk about that as much as maybe we should, but the physicality of being a Monster Jam driver, a lot to do with how in shape your body is as far as how you perform in that truck.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Scott. One thing about it is your heart rate is always elevated, so anytime you can be in physical shape, that'll help keep you calm in the truck. But the other thing is having muscular strength. You know, we take a lot of beating in these trucks, and if your muscles are nice and tight and hold you strong and steady, that'll definitely help you in freestyle.
Mario Musauer with the lead here. It's final turn for Zombie. And a great run here for Zombie. Next up here in round 1, Charlie Pocket in Monster Mud. He takes a yellow lane. He goes up against Craig Champion. El Toro Loco. 27-18 is the record on the year for Charlie Pocket. 2-0 against Craig Champion. Great start for Chucky off the line first to the chalk first. And he will hit the turning pod first.
Yeah, he hikes up in that corner, but it doesn't affect him at all.
Halfway point, Monster Mud, El Toro Loco launched off the race ramp. Final turn, and Charlie Pocket takes the win. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Veteran move from Pocket right there. He pushed in his corner a little deep, come towards the gray race lane for the finish line. He checks up, slows down, knows he has a big enough lead, doing what he needs to get across the line first.
Our final matchup here in round 1, it is Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid up against Mike Christensen in Vendetta. 10-21 on the year from Mike Christensen. Has struggled a little bit in racing. On the other side of that spectrum, Camden Murphy 30-17 in racing, 3-0 against Mike.
See how Mike rides the berm. He stays up high.
Now we go to the halfway point. Bakugan Dragonoid with the lead. Vendetta trying to make it close here. Final turn, Camden Murphy takes a great lane, and Camden Murphy across the finish line. Bakugan Dragonoid advances. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Absolutely perfect last corner by Camden Murphy. Stays nice and tight, rotates that truck around, but stays tight to the turn pods. Great corner by Cam.
Let's take a look at our bracket after round 1. In round 2, it'll be Son of a Digger against Soldier of Fortune, Axe up against Zombie, Avenger against Monster Mutt, and Grave Digger against Bakugan Dragonoid. Round 1 is ancient history as we move on to round 2. The newly crowned series champion Ryan Anderson is the track next. First here in round 2, it is Son of a Digger against Soldier of Fortune. Ryan Anderson 46-10 on the year. He's won 4 racing competitions in a row and 12 races in a row. Unbelievable. And Ryan Anderson out of the berm, but Caleb Blood right on his tail.
Uh-oh, Kayla's getting a little wild.
She does get wild. This could make her pay for it right here. Ryan Anderson, final turn on 3 wheels, and she goes up high on the turning pod. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Kayla was giving it everything she had. The truck was spinning out on both ends. Easy win for Ryan Anderson.
Next up in round 2, it is Axe versus Zombie. And for more on this, let's go down to Leslie Mears.
Guys, this is the 4th race in a row where Preston Perez has had a bye, and he tried to kind of brush it off and just chalk it up to some good luck out there. But I think for him, it's really settling into this truck, learning how that spool works for him, and figuring out how to drive on this track.
What do you think about Preston's advancement in racing so far in the latter half of the season?
You know, it takes a little bit to become one with your truck, and he has only been in this chassis this year so far, so it's finally starting to get comfortable for him. He's going out there and laying down bad, fast passes.
Oh, and Zombie gets stuck at the line, so Preston Perez with a great jump.
Uh-oh, Preston hits the turn pole.
Bari now has the advantage, so that could cost Preston. Into the final turn we go. Zombie against Axe, and Zombie gets the win. Bari Musauer will advance to take on Ryan Anderson. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
As Preston comes into this yellow corner here, you can see him. He touches that turn pod with his front tire, hikes up. He's able to drive out of it, but it costs him the race.
Next up here in round 2, it is Charlie Pauken in Monster Mud. In the gray lane, Jim Kohler in Avenger in the yellow lane. And look at that body on Avenger, that 20th anniversary body. Love seeing Jim pull these different Avenger bodies out. This one paid tribute to the early beginnings of the truck, but 20th anniversary celebrating here tonight in Syracuse.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that body again. I remember that when I was a kid watching Jim Kohler out here throwing it down in that S10.
Debuted that body in 2017. High off the berm is Avenger. And he hits the turning pod by a lot. And he still got the lead. Jim Kohler slinging Avenger around the track into the final turn. And Avenger with a big win. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
As you watch Charlie Pauken come around the corner, he pushes really deep where Jim stays kind of tight, almost too tight, hitting the turn pod, but he's able to recover and come away with the win.
Our final matchup here in round 2, it is Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger against Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. And for more on this match, let's head downstairs with Leslie Mears.
Guys, I caught up with Tyler as they were putting that sand down in the corners and kind of grooving it into the track, and he said, I love a slick track. The slicker, the better. So it's his race surface out there.
Camden Murphy, the fastest time of the previous round, fastest time so far. At 31:17 on the year. Here we go, final matchup. Camden up on 3 wheels, out of the berm. Tyler Menninga looking good.
See how much they check up going into the corner, trying not to push wide.
And a final turn. And it's Tyler Menninga getting the win. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
As Tyler comes into this yellow race lane, he absolutely nails the throttle way quicker than Cam, getting out of the hole and across the finish line first.
Let's take a look now at the semifinal bracket. It's going to be Son of a Digger against Zombie, and then Avenger against Gravedigger. And our first matchup, it is Son of a Digger against Zombie. Ryan Anderson now 47-10, 13 consecutive wins, but Bari Musauer had him beat in times in the last round.
Ryan absolutely getting off the line fast on that one. Oh, Bari has to check up. He pushed too far going across the gray turn lane.
Halfway point, it is Ryan Anderson with the lead. And Ryan Anderson takes the win, making 14 in a row. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Watch as Bari Musauer goes into this gray race lane. The truck starts pushing like it has been for so many other drivers tonight. He has to check up in order to make the truck turn, and it costs him the race.
Next up here in the semifinals, Jim Kohler in Avenger against Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. And for more on Avenger, let's send it back downstairs to Leslie.
Guys, one thing that might be helping out Jim on this slick track is you got to remember he's a little bit wider than everybody else, and he's definitely heavier, so he's kind of locked into the track. He also told me earlier in Jim fashion, this track is awesome, and it's suited just for him.
All right, thank you, Leslie. So we'll find out if Jim Kohler can keep that Syracuse magic going and advance to the final round. And we are off and running here in the semifinals.
Jim absolutely throws it into that berm.
Into the turn we go. Jim Kohler goes wide. Tyler Menninga stays tight. And Gravedigger with the lead.
Jim hits the turn pod coming out of the yellow corner.
And final turn, and it is Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger making it happen. So Gravedigger advances to meet Son of a Digger. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Jim is absolutely letting it hang out. Coming out of both corners. At first the yellow one, he hits the turn pod. And then again, coming out of the gray side, he gets sideways, but he fully commits. Costs him the race.
Let's take a look at our final racing bracket. It is going to be Ryan Anderson, his Son of a Digger, up against Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. And then there were two. The first 12 points of the night are on the line. It's Anderson versus Menninga when we return with the Monster Jam Racing Finals. And it is Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger in the yellow lane against Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger in the gray lane. All right, head-to-head on the season. Ryan Anderson 3 wins to Tyler Menninga's 2. And this is the final matchup of the day. 12 points on the line, and Gravedigger was stuck at the line. Ryan Anderson taking him advantage.
I don't know if Tyler was sleeping or what, but look at that corner by Ryan Anderson. Absolutely nailed it.
Halfway point, Son of a Digger whips off the ramp. He's got the lead. Just drifted through the turn. Final push. We've just been informed Ryan Anderson received a 5-second penalty for not having 2 tires down across the ramp, which means Tyler Menninga gets his 3rd racing win of the season. What a break for Tyler Menninga. So Tyler Menninga with a great break here as we start the night in Syracuse. He gets his 3rd racing win of the season, and he is on the track with Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Tyler, that race so close, and it came right down to the wire. You were so fast all night. You know, how were you able to master this slick track that you told me was right up your alley?
Yeah, you know, I love these slick tracks. They're my favorite. I felt really good when I raced Camden. I raced Jim Kohler. I did bobble a little bit against Ryan, so I threw it into that last corner a little harder, and I guess it's a good thing I did. It turned out in our favor in the end, but you know what? We've been struggling on racing all year, so to be able to get a racing win under our belt feels really good, so it's awesome.
Thank you, Leslie. So Tyler gets the first 12 points of the night as we take a look at our first BKT overall point standings leaderboard. Tyler with the lead right now after 1 competition. Ryan Anderson with 11, Bari Musawar with 10, Jim Kohler with 9, and Camden Murphy with 8 points. 2 more competitions remain. And up next in Syracuse was the Great Clip Skills Challenge. In this competition, drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a donut. They were judged by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution. Let's take a look back at our top 3 competitors. Coming in 3rd place, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid with a popper nose wheelie moonwalk combo.
Great control here. Riding it out.
In 2nd, Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune, big air popper into a moonwalk.
Oh, should have brake checked, but she ends up with some good air.
Oh, clips it!
Whoa!
Yeah, there we go.
Nice move.
And check out the quadruple combo move on this winning run from Gravedigger's Tyler Menninga.
Goes into a stoppie. Great control, tries to ride it up to the top of the pad, gets a little bit short. Might be a little off here, but he ends up getting a combo. Rides a wheelie up to the top, and then sets it up. A triple combo now. Back into a stoppie moonwalk, back to the top. Catches another wheelie for a quadruple move. Sets it down on a rear bumper. Great job by Tyler Menninga.
After his 10th win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Leslie Mears caught up with Tyler Menninga.
So, Tyler, what a combo clinic that you put on out there. You know, we thought that you were done, and then you just kept on going.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fun. 2-wheel skills for me. I come out of the arena, so we get multiple chances in a weekend to try it out. So I've kind of perfected the moonwalk to wheelie combo. So I knew the track was slick. I knew I was going to have to use the actual face itself instead of climbing up and using the backside of it. So it worked out in my favor. We got the win. We're 2 for 2. Freestyle's next, and I can't wait.
So Tyler Menninga doubles down, winning racing and the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Let's take a look at the BKT overall point standings after 2 competitions. Gravedigger with the lead, 24 points. Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, with 19. Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid with 18. Bari Musawar and Zombie with 17. And Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune with 16 points. We are halfway through round 22, but there is still a lot more action on the way. Colton and I will get you all caught up here in Syracuse and take a look around the league when we return with the St. Jude Halftime Report. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. We are back at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse for round 22, and welcome to the St. Jude Halftime Report. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Cole Stevens, and it's been the Tyler Menninga show so far. He's doubled down, winning 2 competitions. What is it going to take for Tyler Menninga to get a perfect event here tonight?
You know, he's going to have to throw it down in freestyle. You know, you got Ryan Anderson here and Corey Rummel both about to go down and throw it down here in Syracuse. So Tyler Menninga is going to have to do the same thing if he wants to beat him.
Well, let's talk about Megalodon's Corey Rummel. He's coming off the best weekend of his season in Atlanta. He got 2 freestyle wins in his first overall event championship of the season. Struggled a little bit so far tonight. So what do you expect out of Corey Rummel in freestyle?
I think Corey Rummel's going to throw it down, but the thing about it, you're right. He came off 2 wins in Atlanta. Unfortunately, that's hard on truck, so he could have some mechanical damage that shows his face here in Syracuse and cost him this freestyle.
Well, let's hear from the Megalodon driver. He is downstairs with Leslie Mears in this UNOH pit report.
So, Corey, you've picked up 2 freestyle victories in a row without any damage. And so what kind of things are you worried about, like the weak points on the truck that might show their ugly head here in this freestyle?
My biggest thing is probably reverse. You know, I had an awesome backflip to moonwalk, and I had an awesome couple moonwalks and basically nose wheelies the whole weekend. So I'm definitely worried about reverse because our style transmissions don't hold up the greatest, but we're going to see what happens.
Well, guys, the good thing for him, you don't really need reverse for freestyle.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Looking forward to Corey trying to make it 3 in a row. Right now, let's take a look around the league. It's somewhat quiet weekend in Monster Jam with only 3 tours in action. Besides the action here tonight in Syracuse, Stadium Championship Series red at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Now, that's going on right now, so we don't have the updated results. But Adam Anderson, our last event with them in Indianapolis, cut Tom Mentz's lead in half. Now 18 points. Can Adam Anderson realistically take the series championship lead tonight?
There's definitely going to be a hard one, Scott, but if anybody can do it, it's Adam Anderson.
Well, let's bring you back in here to Syracuse and update you on the overall point standings after 2 competitions. Tyler Menega with the lead at 24 points, Ryan Anderson with 19, Camden Murphy with 18, Barry Musauer with 17, and Caleb Blood with 16 points. Throughout the season, I've had a chance to sit down with some of the biggest stars in Monster Jam. And back in Oakland, I got to talk to Bakugan Dragonoid's Camden Murphy about his career and what it was like having to sit out the 2021 Stadium Championship Series. So enjoy this edition of One-on-One with Camden Murphy.
All right, Cam, I wanted to sit down with you one-on-one. 2021 was not an easy year for anybody. We had a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, but I wanted to get your thoughts on what I'm sure you're sick of everybody talking about. When it comes down to it, Ryan Anderson won a Stadium Championship Series in the truck that was basically designed for you.
I've been racing for over 15 years of my life, and I'm a competitor at heart, so I hate to not be in the seat. Ryan Anderson's one of the best and one of the best of all time. If there was someone to drive my truck, I would have picked Ryan for sure. But at the same time, I am a competitor, and I hate to absolutely lose, and I hate to not be driving something. So it was frustrating to see him win the championship, like you said. Is even more frustrating because I know we can. I know I can.
Monster Jam World Finals is returning to Orlando, Camping World Stadium. You were in the semifinals in racing.
And Murphy fast off that starting line, and Barry Musauer is going to have to catch him.
So you were maybe a break away from making it to the finals and possibly winning a World Finals championship there. And now you're here with a chance to go back to World Finals. Is that in your head at all?
Every single week, man. Every single week. That eats me up all the time, because of how close I was to my first appearance at the World Finals, to winning almost 2. I'm just happy to be here. My racing career has been such a struggle and such an uphill battle all my life with trying to do this as a profession, that I'm just really happy to be in this position and be at the top of monster trucks and be here doing what I love to do. Going back to the other competitor side of me, I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. I look at it as if I could have won one World Finals championship, what could have that done for me outside of my Monster Jam career too? It eats me alive, because then you have to wait a whole other year.
Coach, obviously Camden still feels like he has a lot to prove, maybe even now has a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He really loves being in this Bakugan truck, and it shows every weekend.
Now coming up, one more competition remains until we crown the event champion. It's freestyle at its next. So Cole, having performed on this track 2 different years, you had an epic freestyle run back in Cletus in 2017. I was on hand for that. What is your strategy looking at this track, on this dirt, in this building that you have been so successful in?
Keep it moving, and moving fast. This dirt is very slick, as we saw in racing, so you're able to actually hold these trucks wide open, make a lot of noise. And another thing about it, I really like how this track is set up. There's a lot of really steep jumps, as well as some that are laid down, so you see a lot of opportunities for big air, and keep on going if they want to have an awesome freestyle.
Here comes Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack, and he's going to come right out of the stall and hit the center pod with some nice air.
Definitely grabbed everybody's attention.
Jurassic Attack wicks back around over the tabletop, over the berm.
All right, brake check. Oh, man, perfect opportunity right there to get a stop. He chooses not to.
Oh,
he's got a bad bounce. He's
going to hit son of a digger.
Oh, my God, this is huge.
Right into son of a digger, right in the front.
Not good. I would be super mad if I'm Ryan Anderson right now. Oh, my gosh, that was a huge hit on the front of that truck.
Ryan is in the truck. He is going early in freestyle. He is in the truck. Unbelievable.
Catches a bounce, goes over on the lid. He should have shut it down way earlier. This is bad. This could take Ryan Anderson out for freestyle. They're definitely going to have to move him down because Bryce, his crew chief, is going to have to check that thing out. I want to see what is going on underneath because we could have chassis damage. I mean, that was a hard hit, Scott.
All right, next up, Corey Rummel and Megalodon. Now to the gray race lane goes Corey Rummel again, comes off wild over to the right.
You see how he grabbed the brakes right before the rear tires left the ground, allowing the truck to check up. First cross up of the night right here. First transfer of the night right here.
Goes right back to the transfer jump on the other side of the track.
Chooses to go to flat right there.
Under a minute to go now for Megalodon.
Ooh, downside, check up.
Oh,
stoppy.
right into a stoppy.
Doesn't quite get it all the way stopped, but still cool move.
More of a modified nose wheelie, try to stop it.
Oh, nice little blurb there at the end. Keep the truck nice and level. Thing about it, if you come into a ramp and you hold it wide open, the truck potentially can nose over. What he did right there is let out the throttle right before the face and then blurped it, gave it a little bit of throttle to keep the truck nice and level as it flew through the air.
All right, Corey Rummel now has a shot to win his competition if he lands this right here. Backflip time. Megalodon skies it, says
Perfect
it.
backflip.
And he lands it. Absolutely beautiful time on the clock. Fans up on their feet here in Syracuse.
Digging in right there, bud. He's got one more left, maybe. Go for it, Corey, go.
Crosses it up over the car stack. And now runs out of room. Megalodon in the house with a great freestyle run. Take a look at the super glue to the action replay.
Watch his backflip. Drags the tail, but ends up landing it perfectly.
Next up in freestyle out of Lafayette, Louisiana, Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. Big air for Caleb Blood. Gets the end down, end over end jump.
I was worried that she's going to get a bad rebound there, but because she was nosed over so far, but the truck soaked it right up.
Rode it into a stoppie on the landing.
Ooh, that's an aggressive hit right there, Scott. You see how the truck almost stopped? Ooh, now she runs the front end of the housing right into the face of that. Luckily, she didn't tear no ram or the tie rod up. Truck's still going.
Finessed it over the car stack, run right into the 8-pack. And now a 45-degree angle off the yellow race ramp.
You can see the brakes are glowing right there. Kayla has a habit of riding the brakes inside this truck, and that's what's making those brake rotors glow.
Awkward bounce there on the center of the pod.
Being patient. She didn't outdrive the truck. She let the truck settle. Going for a backflip.
So she goes to the far side of the track. Caleb Blood lining up for a backflip. She lands and could spell trouble for Megalodon. She goes sideways. Almost a gainer backflip, a corkscrew, whatever you want to call it. She can't land it as we go to the super glue to the action replay.
Right here, which watch the backflip. No, it's the case of the transition being wrong that it sends her in a crazy corkscrew. There's nothing she could do.
Next up in freestyle, the two-time World Finals champion and the 2022 Stadium Series Yellow champion, Ryan Anderson, and son of a digger. For more on Ryan, let's check back in with Leslie Mears.
Guys, when Bryce checked in with Ryan, he said, I do not like being here on the other side of that transfer, especially after that run-in with Jurassic Attack. You know, both Digger crew chiefs were all over that truck, feeling the welds, making sure the chassis was intact, and they found out that it is okay. When I asked Bryce about it, he said, it's fine. I feel like Ryan tears it up worse than Jurassic did.
All right, thank you, Leslie. So great to hear that. That was a crazy hit.
Here's the first test right here, Scott.
And he nails it right off the ramp, comes in, gets the jump.
That's the biggest thing I was worried about, is if those front shocks could be damaged or even the shock towers, but they seem to be working great. Throwing it right into a stoppy nose wheelie right out of the gate. Ryan Anderson.
Starting to throw it down. Colt, if you were sitting there in that truck and you saw a Jurassic attack coming at you, what's going through your mind?
Please don't tear it up. Please don't tear it up.
Another big transfer jump. He hits it, comes off a little wheelie action. Right up, goes off the left. That was a veteran move from Ryan Anderson. Went off the left of the track.
You can actually see in Ryan's office right now, the body's starting to come off. Watch his hands. Watch his hands as he steers his truck around. He's absolutely sawing at that wheel. Huge!
Big air, biggest air so far of the night.
You see how he turned into that? The truck rebounded sideways. He turned to the right to counteract that, to get the truck to go exactly where he wanted on the rebound.
Little whip action there onto the center of the pod. Ryan Anderson, an incredible career so far.
You see him? He's got his hands up, pumping the crowd. He's got a convertible right now. The crowd can actually see in there.
Won a world championship in 2017, won another one in 2018. Series championship last year, series championship this year.
Uh-oh, here we go, Scott. This is about to be huge. Cowabunga! Ayow! Side slap city, my man. That'll feel that in the morning.
Right onto the sway bar, slide slap city. You said it. Here we go. Backflip. Not going to miss a beat. Ryan Anderson sending son of a digger up.
Do you see how far he set up onto the side of that backflip? Look at that. Uh-oh, Tranny's going. Might have lost first gear. That's okay. You don't need first.
Right into a nose wheelie.
Nice
oh my
job
goodness,
by
I'm telling
Ryan
you, Colt,
Anderson.
I've said it before, I will say it again. Who is beating that man in Orlando at World Finals? Nobody. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Look at that backflip right there. Using the edge of that backflip ramp. It's like he knew something was wrong after watching Kayla's backflip. He moves it over to the side, executes it perfectly.
9.480. Coming up next in freestyle, it is Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. Coming into this competition, Camden Murphy still in the event championship chase with 18 points, 1 point off of Ryan Anderson, and 6 points off of Tyler Menega. So he would need some help and a great score here. We need to take the lead.
Right here, look, you can see that front tires turn almost full lock to the right. Downside, beautiful. Come on, downside again, buddy. Oh, just a little bit short on downside and again.
You know, Camden currently locked into that third spot in the season points. Big time sky wheelie there for Camden Murphy.
Could have rode it into a slap wheelie. Ooh, truck's starting to get a little bouncy there.
Not much air there, so he's going to try to hit the throttle now and power over everything. A powerful run so far. As he moves up over to the backflip ramp, here comes Bakugan Dragonoid, lines it up. And Camden Murphy gonna land it hard, but he's got a moonwalk. The Dragon moonwalk, fans are going nuts. Huge hair.
Oh, here we go, buddy. It's all down here.
He's gonna save it. Right onto the berm, he saves it.
Definitely got some broke parts. They're gonna let him keep going.
He is trying to win this championship here tonight, and he just left it all out on the track. 9.429.
His crew chief is pumped.
Right now, let's take a look at some of our lower performing trucks in our freestyle competition. Preston Perez didn't make it out of the back. He did not compete at all in acts. Chris Kohler filling in for Mike Christensen did not fill 30 seconds. He did not get a score. Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack did not get a score as well. He had a huge wreck right on a son of a digger. And then Craig Champion, El Toro Loco, 6.243, not going to cut it here tonight. And finally, Jim Kohler in Avenger, 7.186, makes it in the bottom half. Let's take a look at our current freestyle top five. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, with that top spot. 9.480 was the score. Bakugan Dragonoid in second. Megalodon in third. Soldier Fortune in fourth. And Avenger currently in fifth. It has been non-stop action here in Syracuse. We are not done yet, so don't touch that dial. As we continue freestyle at the Carrier Dome, let's check back in on the BKT overall point standings. After two competitions, Tyler Menega with the lead at 24 points, Ryan Anderson with 19, Camden Murphy 18, Barney Musauer 17, and Caleb Blood with 16. Next up in freestyle, Charlie Pocket and Monster Mutt. Let's check back in with Leslie Mears.
Guys, Charlie told me this is a good opportunity for him to throw it down this weekend. Not only is he hanging right in there in the points and trying to climb through the ranks, but he said with only 2 events left until World Finals, he's got to prove to people that he needs a shot at competing for that championship once again.
I can't imagine a World Finals without Charlie Pauken competing, but we have seen him before.
Oh, this one, he's going for a long shot there, Scott. That was huge. Uh-oh, it's getting a little close. He's going to have to throw it in reverse.
3 freestyle wins on the season for Charlie Pauken. He's another driver that was docked points in Miami, which caused him to drop in the standings from 3 to 4, but he had a great opportunity tonight to get back up into that 4th spot. I'm sorry, 4 to 5.
Oh, I think he was going for that stoppie in the center, but the truck rebounded not the way he wanted it to. Another transfer.
2010 World Finals freestyle champion Charlie Pauken has been around for just as long as Monster Jam has been around. Done it all. 3-time Thunder Nationals champion as well. And he is lining up for the backflip ramp with 30 seconds on the clock. And he sends it. Comes down hard, but he's got enough left to keep it going.
I was worried he's going to over-rotate that one. Oh! Digs the nose right in, but does a nice slap wheelie.
See how he lands that right over the berm, nails it, and that'll do it for the run for Chucky. Up next in freestyle, 2-time Guinness World Record holder Bari Musawir in Zombie. Off the berm, onto the pod, continues the momentum, low center of gravity for Zombie, goes all the way over the cart stack.
Downside, nice. Oh, it comes up a little short there.
Whipping Zombie back around, comes right back over the other side of the berm on the yellow side. And then again over the car stack, a little more air this time.
I liked how he carried the front end up. He used the momentum to keep that front end of that Zombie truck up going across that pad.
Slap Wheelie City here in Syracuse again. And now Bari gonna go right from the slap wheelie to the backflip ramp, and he gets it.
Perfect. Let her eat now, Bari. Go ahead, you got 13 seconds.
Right on over to the transfer jump. He hits it, continues going. And then well over the tabletop again. Now he's got to flip it around. Huge air for Zombie, and he's going to side slap. Oh, he's got a chance to save it, and he does. Bari Musawir, maybe the save of the night. Unbelievable. The runs continue in Syracuse. Zombie arms all over the place.
How did he get out of that so fast? Did he hit so hard his belts came unbuckled?
It wouldn't surprise me tonight, Cole. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Absolutely humongous to side slap City, man. Those hurt so bad. Bari takes it like a champ.
9.545. Your new leader is Zombie. Here comes Tyler Menega out of Oskaloosa, Iowa, and Gravedigger, the only 4-time Triple Threat Series champion in Monster Jam history. Tyler Menega doesn't need a perfect event to win the overall event championship here in freestyle. All he needs to do is finish 6th or better, and he walks out of here with the trophy.
Uh-oh. I hope something's not wrong with the front steer.
Tyler Menega with 6 freestyle wins on the season.
I think something's wrong with the front steering, Scott.
Leads the series, so now perfect event in jeopardy.
He cannot turn to the right. He cannot turn to the right.
Oh, man, look at that jump. I thought he was going over the berm.
I'm looking right now to see what's going on. Yeah, I don't see a ram messed up. I think the front steer pump is just gone. He's just going to have to drive. He's driving rear steer only. He might as well almost just let go of that front steering wheel.
Are they going to let him go?
They are. As long as he can maintain control, he's trying. Look, he's got both hands working, sawing at that wheel, trying to get it to turn. I don't think it's going to do anything, Tyler. I think you just got to rely on that rear. Hope the front stays as straight as it can.
He is pushing this thing. Oh, man. A finesse wheelie on the backside.
He's like, I don't need the front on the ground.
Look at him going in reverse here. Look at that, a reverse stoppie in freestyle, and he's walking it. He's walking it. We have seen everything tonight. I'm throwing my water down. We have seen everything tonight. A reverse stoppie into a reverse walk. What is going on in Syracuse tonight? Take us to the super glue, glued to the action replay.
Right here, gets over on the ramp, grabs the rear perfectly, bouncing up on that one tire, thinks he's gonna save it. Oh man, rolls it over.
Let's take a look at our final freestyle top 5 leaderboard. Zombie gonna win this. 9.545 was the score. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, drops to 2nd. Bakugan Dragonoid in 3rd. Megalodon in 4th. And Soldier Fortune finishes in 5th. So Barney Musauer gets his 5th freestyle win of the season. And he's downstairs with Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Pulling off the big moves, and I'm just impressed at how fast you got out of the truck. I mean, that was just phenomenal after that wild ride out there.
Well, the adrenaline was sure pumping after that wild ride, you know. These fans were electric. They hit me with the zombie arms all around the whole stadium, so I knew I had to give them something special. The truck's a little worse for wear with my crew chief, Howie. He's assured me he's going to be back 100% for next weekend.
Let's take a look now at the final BKT overall point standings. Barney Musauer getting 12 points with his win, but it is Ryan Anderson with 30 points that'll win this one. Tyler Menega has 30 as well. Freestyle score breaks the tie. Barney Musauer gets 29, Camden Murphy with 28, and Caleb Blood with 24 points. So Ryan Anderson gets his 12th overall event championship of the season, and he is on the track with Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Well, it was just a phenomenal finish to the night for you, Ryan. And, you know, it started out a little rough with that bump with Jurassic Attack, but you definitely made the most of it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. No doubt about it. I wasn't getting really the show that I wanted. Obviously, the finals was great being in there with Tyler, but Paul landed on top of me, and I was like, yep, that's it. I'm turning this sucker loose now. Bryce has the truck 100% at all times. UNOH graduate, so there's no denying it. Straight from UNOH to my team, we won the championship, and we've been smoking them every chance we get.
We're just about out of time at the Carrier Dome. Next round, we stay with Stadium Championship Series Yellow as we return to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from Syracuse, and we'll see you next time on Monster Jam.